Hi friends, welcome back once again to the online SST classes. In the class we had learned about the chapter environment. We had seen what is environment. Whatever we see around ourselves, whether it's living things, non-living things, all this consists of environment. In this also we had seen one very important thing, that what are the four domains of environment. You remember? Can anyone say? Okay, I'll say lithosphere, which is totally of land or Earth's crust. So now we are going to see the same thing. The name of this chapter is Inside Our Earth, and as you can see from the picture itself, totally it's made of molten lava. But is it just lava, or do we have something else related to this? So we'll see in this chapter totally what is inside Earth, whether it's lava or some other things, whatever it is there, we'll see this. So first, when you talk about the interior of the Earth, try to understand that the Earth has different layers. Now this picture also seems like an onion. Like onion have different layers, Earth also has different layers. Okay, for you to understand, we'll see how much layers we'll see four layers, which is for in terms of 7th standard, it's okay. When you go to your higher classes, you will see more layers of this. Okay, so going ahead, let us start. Just like an onion, our Earth is made up of several concentric layers. You know what is concentric? Which has a common center. Like I had shown you in the figure, there is a center, there are some concentric circles or layers. You can, not circles, you can say layers. So these layers form the Earth. It is same like an onion. Have you ever seen an onion? Try to peel it. You'll peel up one layer, another layer will be there. You take out that layer, another layer. Similarly, Earth also has different layers. The uppermost layer of the Earth is called as crust. It is hard, the hard land on which we live, that is called as crust. It is the uppermost layer. And this crust is the, now I said that it has different layers. Again we'll draw a diagram. Chalo. So now if we have so many layers, the topmost layer is called as crust. This is your crust. Now crust is very thin layer, or the thinnest of all of these. It is just 35 kilometers. Fine. Okay, what is the depth of the Earth? All this we'll see in our coming slides and into the further video. Fine. So now I'll try to show you the figure. Can you see here now? This is Earth, this part. This side is Earth, this side is onion. Like onion has layers, Earth also has layers. Can you see that? So this shows the resemblance of onion and Earth. So Earth is same like an onion. Why? Not for size, but it also has concentric layers. It has the same center and it has layers around it. So we call it, so we can compare it with an onion. Clear? And the topmost layer is called as crust. Now we'll see what are the different layers of the Earth. Like we discussed, ki Earth has concentric layers, many concentric layers like an onion. So what are those layers actually? We'll try to see that. Yeah, sorry. Now see here, the first layer is called as crust, which is the topmost layer and thinnest layer. It is only of 35 kilometers thickness. This thickness of crust will be only 35 kilometers. Then we have the second one, mantle. We call it mantle, not mental, mantle. Okay. Then we have the inner core. We have two cores. We call it outer core, the orange one, and inner core, the red one. So we are seeing now four layers. Topmost is crust, then we have mantle, then we have outer core, and last we have inner core, which is totally molten magma. We call it magma or molten lava. It's totally semi-liquid. Molten means, you know, when you melt the metals, how do it look like? In the same way it is there. Very hot and in a semi-solid state. Fine. Now going ahead, now we have seen the different things. Now when you talk about, now who can tell me which was the topmost layer or the outermost layer? Yes, exactly, crust. Crust is the outermost layer. But we have two kinds of crust now. Now if you know, again we'll link this thing with our previous chapter. We had seen lithosphere, hydrosphere, which is on the Earth's surface. Land is called lithosphere, water is called hydrosphere. You remember that? Fine. So Crust also. Crust will be different on land and crust will be different on the oceans, on the hydrosphere. Because if you try to see a particular place, suppose this is a mountain, okay, here there is an ocean. I'll change the color, red, blue. Yeah, and here there is an ocean, water, totally filled with water. So what will happen? The crust of lithosphere, I'll again change the color so that you can understand this. I'll take green. Now here the crust is here, topmost layer. Here crust is here, here crust is here. On land it is here, but on ocean the crust will be the ocean bed, deep inside. So now we can understand there are two types of crust. One we call as continental crust, which is on the land, and the other we call it oceanic crust, which is under the ocean. Because this is also outermost layer, this is also outermost layer. Here everything is water, so this is the outermost layer. So this is called as oceanic crust, and land here we can say, or here it is called as continental crust. So now we'll see briefly what are these. Okay, so now we are going to see continental crust and oceanic crust. Let's see a diagram first. Okay, unnecessarily I made it there on the board. You can see here very clearly. This is the continental crust. See, here ocean means this is the oceanic crust below. This is the continental crust on the top. Ocean, in deep ocean bed you can see oceanic crust. So because the topmost layer, here topmost layer is not here, here it is water, land is here. So this is called as oceanic crust, but here land is here itself. So this is the continental crust. Fine. I hope you are very clear with this diagram now, that what is continental crust and what is oceanic crust. We'll see about this. Now crust, continental crust, if you see, continental crust, it is more deep, right? Oceanic, they are not so deep, because water is there and then crust is there. They cannot go much deeper. So now see here, crust is about 35 km on the continental masses. On the continental masses they are 35 kilometers, but in oceanic it is just 5 kilometers. Right? Understood? Why? Can anyone say why? Why continental they are more than oceanic? Because you see, this is the total mountain, so it is very much thicker, because above land also much place it is taking, the altitude. So it is almost 35 kilometers on an average we are talking about. In oceans they are only 5 kilometers. They are not so deep oceans. It is almost 5 kilometers means very much deep, but as compared to mountains and all, it is not such a deep thing. So now you have to remember that we have two kind of crust. One is continental crust, other is oceanic crust. Continental crust, the length is 35 kilometers. For oceanic crust it is just 5 kilometers. I hope you can remember this. You have to remember, it can come in your examinations also. So this is about all the what we call as crust. Now when we talk about oceanic crust, we call it SIMA, SIMA. Why? We'll see this. The oceanic crust mainly consists of silica, that is silicon, and magnesium. Silicon and magnesium. Now take the two letters of first two alphabets of these two, silica and magnesium. Right? It becomes SIMA. So because now if I ask you a question, why do we call oceanic crust as SIMA? Because the answer would be because the oceanic crust are rich in, or they consist of silicon and magnesium, so it is called as SIMA. Okay, the same thing is given here. The oceanic crust mainly consists of silica and magnesium. It is therefore called SIMA. Si comes from silica and Ma comes from magnesium. Now there is a quiz for you. I'll have a quiz time, small quiz time. Sorry. Yeah. Now the continental crust is called as Sial. Why? Can you guess? Any guesses? SEMA, silicon, magnesium. Silica and magnesium. Silicon is also a part of silica. But you say silica, it's an element. So silica and aluminium. Sorry, silica, I gave the answer. Silica and magnesium. So SEMA. Now here you find aluminium. Or we say alumina. So it is called as Sial. Continental crust is called as Sial because Si for silica, Al for aluminium. Or you say alumina actually, not aluminium, alumina. Fine. So next point is the main mineral constituents of the continental mass are silica and alumina. It is thus called Sial. Very good. Now if I ask you a question, why do we call continental crust as Sial? So the answer will be, sir, because the continental crust, it consists of minerals like silica and aluminium. So if you take the two starting letters or alphabets, it forms SiAl, Sial. So we call it Sial. I hope it's very clear to you. Fine. Now what happens beneath this crust? We had seen 4 layers: crust, mantle, outer crust, outer core, inner core. Now we'll see about something about mantle, what it is, and other layers. So just beneath the crust, beneath means below, just beneath the crust is the mantle, which extends up to depth of 2900 km below the crust. So first 35 kilometers is crust. After this comes mantle, which is 2900 kilometers. Okay. So at last I'll ask you total to make the total about this. Okay. Then we have the innermost layer is the core. Innermost layer is the core. So now I would say this core is both outer as well as inner core. Crust, mantle, core. Now core also has 2 parts. We had seen outer core and inner core. We are talking about total core now. So the innermost core, the core is of an radius of 3500. Radius means its length. Now how would you say that? This is crust. Take an example. Say this is mantle, inner one core. So this is, so for a circle, if you say, for a layer, if you say this much radius, so this will be the height, right? I'm not very good in mathematics, but I try to make you understand this. So the length of that or thickness of core is 3500 kilometers. It is now here also, it is mainly made up of nickel and iron. So it is called as nickel, Ni, iron. Iron is ferrous. Ferrous means iron. So we call it Fe. So Nife is the, they call it Nife. Yeah, Nife is the name for core. This is mainly made up of nickel and ferrous. Ferrous means iron. Okay. The central core, which is totally molten lava or magma, which we had discussed, the central core has very high temperature and pressure. Temperature because it's totally molten. Pressure because of the gases which come out, they are very pressurized gases because it's very hot. So it has high temperature and pressure. So we'll just have a brief look once again on the 4 layers. Now you have to answer me this. You can write and send to me on my WhatsApp, or maybe in my next class I'll ask you this. Crust, it is also called as what? It can be called as SEMA if it is an oceanic crust. It is also called as Sial if it is continental crust. Now you know what is continental crust and what is oceanic crust. Then core is called as Nife, nickel and ferrous. Okay, I think this is very interesting chapter for you. Are you getting interested in this? Now after this we will see, this is for today's video, this is quite enough I think. In next video we will see about the minerals and rocks found in the earth's crust. Earth's crust means which are found in the interior of earth. So we'll discuss about minerals and types of rocks which you can find here. Okay, so we'll have just a brief a recap what we had seen till now. We'll start from the first slide. First was the interior of the earth. It is like they have concentric layers like onion. The uppermost layer is called as earth, which has a thickness of 35 kilometers. So this is what we have seen: crust, mantle, outer core, inner core. Then we have two kinds of crust: continental crust and oceanic crust. Continental 35 kilometers, oceanic is just 5 kilometers. Then the oceanic crust is also called as Sima, and continental crust is also called as Sial. Then we had seen the different things like mantle, core, and core is also called as Nephi because of nickel and ferrous. And this is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. I really tell you student, this is a very interesting chapter if you read it. Now my suggestion, take your textbook and read till this page or till this part. You'll find it very interesting. Maybe you'll have certain doubts when you start reading the textbook. You will have certain doubts, and I also insist you to make a practice to read the NCERT book, textbook, because if you start reading from now onwards till 10th, you will have a kind of language which is like NCERT, and it's very important for your examinations point of view. Okay, fine. So thank you. Have a nice day.